what's up, guys? This is the inaugural episode of Forged, the show, in our own freaking studio. And this brand new episode is brought to you by OP Seat, Quasar Science, and Sling Studios, which is how we're multicasting this sweet, beautiful show.
It's good to be home, man.
Yeah.
We made it. We're here.
We're doing it.
It's good to have a home.
It's happening. Dude, the amount of work. The idea that we're like, hey, we should do we've talked about doing a podcast for so long.
For over a year, at least.
And then we all, come together and we're like, oh, well, let's actually do a podcast. Oh, let's make it a show.
Yeah.
If we only knew how much work that was going to take.
Oh, initially it was like, well, we could just set up a little recorder, man, right? We could use our phones and do this. Cut to what we always do. Let's make a studio. Let's hang some killer lights with some partners, and why don't we have some awesome artists do a mural?
Dude.
So the process took longer than expected, but dude, totally worth it, right, guys?
Yeah,
absolutely.
This is insane.
Yeah.
So today I thought we would kind of talk about like how we got here, right?
Ooh.
Like you had this really cool idea of, you said we're all Ronins, or we're all samurai. Which one? You tell that. I'm gonna butcher
now
it.
you put him in a spot. I totally forget. Yeah, I think it was all Ronin, just kind of going out on our own, doing our own thing. We're all capable of what we do in our individual ways, have our own communities, and then coming together, to join our own cause, right? And
it's like Seven Samurai, dude.
Yeah.
Banding
Exactly.
together.
Yeah.
It's a great film.
Freelance warriors.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
But it's a cool story. I think how we all came together and like how we're here.
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason we're here and able to do this, how we do this, is because we're all together. There's no way in hell that any of us would be here doing this, or what even professionally what we're doing right now without the team. And yeah. I mean, you can kick it off how, you and I.
Dude, yeah. No, I think about this almost daily because every day we do something cool, and knew that, again, without one another's support, talents, and so important as filmmakers, but as any creative, to draw on people who are better at those things than you are. We met, man, on social media, which is why part of what reinforced this idea, we asked ourselves, like, mini projects, like, should we do a podcast? Should we do a show?
Right.
Should we?
Like,
What gives
who are
us the
we,
right to
right?
talk about this? And I
Right.
think everyone, if you have any, semblance of self-reflection, goes through that, right? But it's like, no, man, we have stories to share too. And through the power of social media, we're sharing these stories with you guys, and other artists will be in here sharing those stories. We met through Facebook over a mutual appreciation for a little game called Rocket League at the time, dude. And I had heard of Mr. Jeremy Tremp through the grapevine here in the small pond scene that is Phoenix, Arizona film. Like guys at Painted Tiger Studios, right?
Yeah.
Dan was like, dude, you got to meet this guy, Jeremy. He does really cool stuff too. I was like, okay. So through Facebook, stalked you. I was like, okay, he's doing cool stuff. Wait, and he likes Rocket League. So I messaged you with the project link. You sent me some of your stuff. And we had Phoenix Comic-Con was coming right around the corner.
Yep.
And they had a film challenge. And I had a very loose idea, literally like, hey, there's a cool new bar that they're having open up in downtown Phoenix called Cobra Arcade Bar. We should totally shoot there because booze and video games seem to be awesome.
Yeah.
Reached out to you, and you're like, yeah, man. You hit me back while you were sitting on your laptop, I think, on a flight back from somewhere doing a gig.
Chicago, I think, yeah.
And you're like, yeah, what if we did something like this? And we started riffing over Facebook Messenger, never heard each other's voices or met in person. By the time you got back to Phoenix, we had a loose script. And we're like, well, let's go meet at this bar we've never been to that we're already planning on shooting a film in. We had a couple beers, man, and that, much like the set of Forged, got out of hand quickly, and we involved Martin Cove from Karate Kid.
Yeah.
Shot
That
a
day,
short
you
film.
spoiled Ready Player One for me.
I did.
I didn't know.
I did.
Luckily, at the time, I had. He's like,
Do tell.
Oh man.
And you're like,
well, the first time we met, how do I say this politely?
don't hold back. That's what
I
this
think
is.
that, as the book says, he's like, hey, at least you weren't a
Are you about to spoil this for anyone who's never read the book right now?
Okay, he
too?
basically said what H is, right, at the end. You find out.
Okay.
But I didn't understand that. And I was like, haha, that's funny. And then I got there later, and I'm like, you bastard. If I would have known what you were talking about.
Spoiler alert. Yeah. Yeah, man. And, that was such a unique experiment, too, because put our faith in each other, never had worked together before, created this short film that did pretty darn well. It got picked up and
Show
went
No
out on
Mercy.
web. Show No Mercy, little short film. And this is pre-Cobra Kai, and just to toot our own horn a little bit, pre-Stranger Things on the retro tip, because we're nerds at heart.
You can see it on YouTube now, right?
Yeah,
and,
it's
and
got up on
Amazon
YouTube.
Prime,
It's
I think, too.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We kind of made it it was just for fun, really. It was a proof of concept, proof of ability. We didn't really have like plans to distribute it anywhere.
No.
And so it went to a few festivals, which is really cool. We didn't really expect that.
Premiered at Comic-Con, yeah.
So we just kind of threw it to YouTube, and we haven't really been doing anything with it, but
It's
it's a lovely little short. It's fun to watch.
Yeah, it's cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, and because of that, Mr. Jesse Mitchell, composer Night of the Forge, that's how we met Jesse.
That's how I met you guys. So, yeah, I ran into you guys, at a screening of that. I say ran into, but
He ran into us.
I was planning on being there, and I definitely wanted to.
It was a
you
calculated
meet you
move.
guys
Yeah.
and talk to you guys
Trotted
and,
around.
and
You
see
had
what you're
reached
doing.
out before that, right?
I had reached
We were
out
like,
before that.
Yeah, I remember that.
I was just
Facebook
starting
yet again.
to get really serious about composing for films, and I was looking for local work to try and get some more experience and just get my name out there a little bit more. So I started sending out emails, and you guys actually were the first to respond to anything that I sent out.
Your reel was
locally, which
badass,
was
dude. That's why.
really, really cool.
Yeah.
And I was super stoked because you guys were doing awesome stuff. It looked super, super professional. And so we met at Cobra Arcade,
Am I
we
blushing?
met at Film Bar where it screened, and
Yes,
then we
yes.
went,
Then we
hung
went to
out.
Cobra,
It was
yeah.
right next door to
again,
Cobra.
Everything
Yeah.
goes back to Cobra.
Again, film bar,
Yeah.
Cobra Arcade Bar. Yeah.
There's a
and it's-
drinking theme here, guys.
Yes. Yes.
If you can have a beer with
Work
you,
hard, play hard.
It's a good sign.
That's
no,
a great
it's-
rule for life and collaboration, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Can I have a beer with this guy, or can I share?
Oh, dude, that's
a
what we ask
relaxed time with
ourselves
this?
all
Yeah.
the time,
All the time.
with people we meet. It's like,
Doesn't have to be beer, but
Yeah.
you know,
Can
Jeremy
you
doesn't
hang
drink
out-
beers, so
can I hang out with this dude? Jeremy had a Shirley Temple, and it was
well, of course, I was in a dirty glass. But it was really cool because Jesse had, he came with an idea and like with a goal in mind, and it was like, hey guys, I could add value to your projects, and obviously I'm extremely talented. Like it was so for anybody out there that's looking to pitch or anything, be meaningful, right?
Know what you
Like,
wanna do.
Know what you want to
Be
do.
persistent
Be
and be
persistent.
be
and have a
meaningful.
goal. Like, there's so many people that are like, "Hey, I can do anything." It's like, well, that doesn't help because
It's
we
endearing,
you know,
yeah.
like you need to laser in and say, "This is where I can help you guys,"
Yeah.
and that's what Jesse did.
Well, and
look
be,
at him now.
Be helpful. That's the
Yeah.
other thing for anybody who's trying to make it in film composition, like right off the bat, be helpful. I don't think there was at any point where I met you guys to like the first few months of working with you where I expected you guys to pay me for anything. We just
still
collaborated on
haven't
stuff,
paid- no, I'm just
and I
kidding.
didn't realize.
moving on.
I just made it a goal to collaborate with you guys, and that
Dude,
was
yeah.
how it worked out. And
Yeah.
it's been an awesome ride.
Heck
Since
yeah, man.
yeah, that's a
And-
great way to think of it. Sorry, just because
Yeah.
every collaboration is different, right? So
absolutely.
just having that mentality of where can I help at this moment in time, even setting this stuff up earlier.
Right?
Yeah,
Well, dude,
absolutely.
and I mean, segueing to you, which is oddly enough came from Show No Mercy as well. We're all here because of Show No Mercy, a short film. Tell that story, Ben.
Yeah. So I was teaching at the University of Advancing Technology, teaching game production and running the studio program over there. So I had a lot of students that I worked with, teaching them project management and how to work in collaboration in larger groups to make games and get them out there. And I'd met Scott's sister, Jess, earlier because she wrote at that time for
Joystick. I
It was
think.
Joystick,
Yeah,
yeah.
Joystick.
when I first started Game Collab about 6 years ago. So I started Game Collab, and when we launched it, she came to the launch event and covered that. And so she saw what I was doing and working with the game industry and scenes here, and she connected me with you.
Yep.
And you guys came into the university, and I love
Right out of bushy-tailed, man. Yeah, we did. We rolled in hot, didn't we?
Yeah, you did. A little request of a video game. This was Friday. They wanted it on Monday.
There's
play-
a
I'll play
segment.
the game.
There's a
At the
segment in
earliest,
the
maybe
film
Tuesday.
Yeah.
where we essentially needed a video game. To
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah, Max Reloading Nether Blasters, the film is all about retro gaming,
Right.
And that's carried on from Show No Mercy, where this whole thing started.
Right.
You opened the door for possibilities with Max because you opened us up to the world of game development.
Yep.
And the game developers you were working with at that time.
But yeah, we were basically,
So
hey, we need a
gracious.
playable game
Yeah.
in like 3 days. And
Right.
you're like,
Yeah.
oh, these guys are cute.
okay,
Yeah, right. Well, and that's where it came to be helpful, right? So
Yeah.
upon talking to you guys further, identifying what you really needed, which wasn't a game, you just needed some kind of
Assets on screen.
assets that moved around and looked like a game.
Right.
Right. So we were
Essentially
able-
like a reskin
Yeah, which is what it was at the end. We were able to put you guys with the Crimson Knights team, and they reskinned their game to match your style, and they did it over the weekend, and you had it on Monday.
They worked their butts off.
That was crazy.
Yeah, it was amazing. Those guys are great. I mean, they're still out there doing stuff.
Yep.
Crimson Knights is out there on Steam. That's where then these friendships were created. You know, and I think that, to me, and the friendships that, you know, our friendship here is an extension of just that continuing forward, you know, through Max Reload and beyond, into the community, the greater, you know, creative community that we work with, and then to this show and the whole premise behind Forged.
Yeah,
Let's
man.
crack that open.
Which the premise behind Forged is...
Which brings us here. Forged is essentially a show where we bring together all manner of creatives across the media spectrum, whether it's film, music, you know, graphic design, whatever it is. Anyone who creates something, and we ask them a simple question: what forged your path? And that, as storytellers, that's the fun stuff, man, because it's giving that insight and that introspective opportunity to people to say, yeah, you see me today as famous, you know, graffiti artist or famous filmmaker, but where did they start? And those origin stories, that's the fun stuff. And hopefully that's the inspirational stuff, because everyone who's just getting a start out, whether they're at the Institute of Technology, wherever, they're saying, man, how do I even get there? It seems unattainable. They're on all these news feeds, and they're doing it. They all started somewhere, man.
Yeah,
so.
And those are labels at that point, right? And at that particular moment in time, you might be a director of blank, you know, and that's that movie that you did, and then that's what you know. I mean, and that your life doesn't end there,
Right.
And it didn't start there.
No.
So
And
how
that's
did it
just
start?
a small part
Where does
of
it
your
continue?
life, too. Like, who are the people behind the professional title you see out there? Like, getting to know people personally too. What do you do aside from, you know, crushing it in the game industry or being a filmmaker?
Right.
Yeah, putting a real personality behind it.
Dude, yeah. So, yeah, all this kind of has culminated to Max Reload and the Nether Blasters, which is our feature film
Never heard of this film.
that we're in post-production for. So that's been really exciting, and that's been a huge goal for all of us,
Huge
and
undertaking,
a
yeah.
huge undertaking that we've been working on. So,
And to that point, man, like, I think it's fun. And in the world of social media, another aspect of that is it's a self-promotional tool. You know, we use it. We create visual and audio content, and we show that off, and we like to package it beautifully. But we also like showing a lot of behind the scenes. And I don't think there's a lot more of that today than there ever has been before. And I remember working at Blockbuster Video back in the day. I was so stoked when DVDs came out with behind the scenes. I was whoa, you get to see how the movies were made? That was my film school before film school, as I'm sure it was yours as well. And all of ours. It was like, it was that crazy window into it. Now with YouTube and with live streaming video with, you know, entities like Sling, we can show and be really raw about, hey, this looks awesome. Yes, we got these really cool people involved in these projects, but there's a lot of lifting being done before that, you know?
Dude.
So, and that's fun.
Yeah,
it's fun to open that up.
Exactly. Yeah. So Jesse's working right now on the score. That's the big kind of we've crunched through a lot of the edit.
Yeah.
We got our visual effects team, Foxtrot X-Ray, that's crushing it on that.
Paul DeNigris and team killing it.
And
yep, working on the score. And you know, I lost all of the cues that I've written so far on my hard drive.
Really?
No.
My only reaction right there was to laugh.
Nervous laughter.
And waiting for it. If you had said yes, it would have just been tears into the microphone, dude.
Man. No, I'm kidding. No, it's going really well, and it's a lot of work up front, like you guys are talking about. There's so much to it that you know, people kind of take for granted that, like, oh, I'm just gonna sit down and I'll just play a couple of notes.
I'm gonna whip it out.
It's like, you know, I'm just gonna make this cute little movie score, and it's like there's so much work. Even if you're doing something that's super small, if you're doing like a 15-second cue, you know, you've got to build a template. You've got to, you know, there's just so much, and you really, I feel, have to get it, you know, in your hands as a musician if you're going to be scoring stuff. There's something to that, being able to play what you're thinking, what you're hearing, being able to play it along with the film. And I've spent a good amount of time just sitting with the film with, you know, nobody around, just on the keyboard, on the piano, playing parts of the theme, trying to figure out what fits. And then I go in and try and orchestrate everything out using virtual instruments, planning for, you know, who's going to be performing which live instruments so we can layer those in. You know, and at this point, we're on track and making some good progress, and I'm really excited about some of the other people that I've reached out to fill in some of the little parts of the score that are and the sound design that are super important. Just additional music cues, which you guys will hear about. You guys know about some of them, but you guys will hear about that eventually.
Yeah, man. Feel
as,
free to
as
share
the film
too,
comes
yeah.
out a little bit more. Bring in some of my friends with me, so it's kind of fun to put this whole thing together and see this beast of a film become exactly what what we wanted it to be.
You're putting the soul to it, man.
Yeah.
That's what we've always talked about.
Yeah.
It's the soul of cinema.
Yeah, it's crazy. Just going through editing, and it's like we're just seeing the scenes without music, and it's like
using your imagination.
Yeah, it's like
to the
okay,
best of your
that's
ability,
pretty cool.
yeah.
Like or that's the scene's just you feel like it's not really working that well, and it is. It's just it doesn't have the music yet. And
when
then
you watch it with the music,
and you're like, wow.
Yeah, I
Nailed
love,
it.
dude. Like Jesse built his studio out within Cineforge Studios proper here. And it's those moments like when you hear you composing in the other room next to my office in your office, and then it's silent. And sometimes like we'll walk through the area there, and I see you just sitting there in like you're thinking it through, and you're at the keyboard, and it's like that's writing,
A lot of times I have my phone out, and I'm just watching, and I have a metronome on my phone.
He's playing
I'm just
Flappy Bird, and
tapping.
he's like, why did I get myself?
How's it going, Jess? Well, I got the high score today. Oh, good.
Not that score.
Different score. Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's cool. It's cool seeing the evolution of it come together.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are your guys' hopes for this thing? What are your hopes that this show will spawn into, and how it'll affect people, and what reach it'll have, and just project like thought experiment.
Yeah, we saw a little bit of that at Game on Expo, and like when we were,
Dude.
it was just really cool because we're storytellers, and it's like what forged your path, right? That's everyone loves to talk about themselves, right? Like that's just something that human beings enjoy doing,
especially if you're a performer, right?
And say you're an actor, right, and you just did a big movie. Everyone is asking you about that big movie.
About that
you are
character
so
in that big
sick
movie. Yeah.
of answering the same damn questions.
Yeah.
Right.
So when someone can say, "Hey, man, tell me about like your life. How did you get to be this actor?"
Yeah.
That's really, A, it's cool for them to talk about, and B, it's really cool to hear about.
Yeah,
It is.
I mean, it's more helpful for other people.
Yeah.
Right. So I could say I'm a star in a movie. I could talk about being that star, and that's great and all. But if I talked about how I got there to be able to be that star, or behind the, it just feels like I'm really helping other people more.
Dude,
because
yeah.
those are the questions that people, whether you've gone to school or haven't gone to school, you're trying to figure out your life and what your meaning is and what you're doing, and there's so much more beyond it than just sitting on the screen somewhere, or being filmed. You have to pay your rent or mortgage. You have to have interactions with people on a day-to-day basis. Like, who are you, and how does this fit into your life? And that's what's interesting for me, is hearing all these different creatives in the space. And don't get us wrong, there are a myriad of roles that people play, whether it's in a movie or a video game.
Right.
I mean, these are massive teams that come together.
Yeah.
Try to talk to programmers and artists and designers and the business guys and the legal and everything, but it all needs to come together in order for it to work properly, in order for it to come about.
Yeah.
And so even amongst each other, you have stories to tell, and kind of tips and tricks. And going back to the Game On Expo, some of the things that they talked about, that we interviewed a bunch of the kind of voice actors from video games. Just hearing what it's like to be a voice actor, and where do you find these gigs, and how do you stay afloat, and how do you keep sane of...
It's fascinating.
Man, how many times do they say, you have to constantly... You're going to hear no constantly.
Dude, the similarities between all of their stories, from having one mentor, it seemed like, for most of the people we interviewed, who were characters in games we all grew up playing, like from Mortal Kombat and otherwise. That was nuts. But hearing the similarities, like, well, I had one person in my life, one teacher, one mentor who said, hey, you're pretty good at this. If you really wanted to apply yourself and put the work in, you could be this. And they took that to heart and they did it.
Right.
To the other thing that you noted is like, just show up.
Yeah.
Just show up. You're gonna plan on striking out 99 times out of 100, but if you stick around for that 100th swing, it's worth it. Hearing those similarities between all these people who are super successful and who just grind and do it, that was cool.
So imagine if, and that's what I'd love to get out of this. Imagine somebody who's watching our show hears somebody like that on our show and is inspired.
Yeah.
And that becomes that one person for them. Like that alone right there, just having one person being affected that way, even if we did 100 shows, I think that would be amazing.
Right.
I would think it's a success.
It's knowledge and story sharing.
It's all about the journey, and I think that there's so many people, like you said, with different. Everybody has a different story on how they get there. But if somebody's watching the show and they go, "Oh my gosh, that person's journey is so much similar, or so similar to mine," and, they make that personal connection.
Yeah, and just reading some of the comments on the YouTube on those videos, and it's really cool. People are like, "Wow, like this is really cool. I never knew that," or I want to hear more. That's the kind of stuff that we're interested in doing here. And we've from doing Max Reload and from all our connections, we've just amassed a really awesome network of professionals that I think are going to be really cool to tap to come onto the show. Hopefully some really big names that can share some really cool stories that I think people will really enjoy.
Yeah, we have amassed a very unique collection of misfits and professionals and celebrities that we can reach out and touch with a single email now. And the fascinating thing about that is we've learned they're all real people, and they're all way more approachable and gracious if you come to them with something cool and valuable, especially if you're asking them, hey, can you share something with the next possible generation of creators? Right. Almost every one of them, I would say every one of them, not even almost, but every one of them has been like, yeah, man, that sounds cool. When can I help? And these are people who are very busy, and that's neat, and that's the generosity of that spirit. Hopefully is something we can keep being like a magnet for with this show. So yeah. Indeed. All right, who wants to do shots?
We have those?
I'm already waiting.
He's got like 5 shots of espresso in there.
Yeah. Ryan, producer Ryan, what happened to our sweet TV? Oh man, hands are in the air. Well, that's all right.
Well, it's this is the journey.
This is the journey. We're working the kinks out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe some folks would like to know a little bit more about our space right here. I mean, we've done a few videos on it, but
yeah, that's true. We've got some vlogs out of kind of the sitch here.
We do. Where can people see those vlogs and follow
Cineforge Media YouTube? Tell me more.
And ForgeX Creative, the new channel.
Yep. Yep.
Indeed. Again, that's ForgeX Creative on YouTube.
But dude, yeah, we had we always wanted a mural, and
this is an experiment in ridiculous fantasizing behind us. I remember, and that's mostly our whole career. Yeah, up to this point in the last few years, especially, is like, wouldn't it be cool if? And then shit gets crazy.
Yep. Yep. So we started the mural. Mounted the TV. We thought of a crazy lighting grid for our overhead unit.
And approached some very cool friends.
Approached Quasar Science, which is one of the best LED manufacturers ever. And man, we just made it happen.
Like, sit for a long time, so we knew we needed some.
Dude, OP seat. As you know, if you followed us, we have a lot of gaming chairs here. And these are some of the finest.
Legit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, there's so many shows out nowadays. We're all huge podcast fans. And I'm always super conscious of like, they're plugging a sponsor. Some do it transparently, some do it covertly. Yeah. These guys are supporting us literally in these chairs.
I like it.
But they're super comfortable, man. Like they are. And we like using
on that point
products, right?
As far as sponsorships for the show go, it's all the stuff that we will. It's stuff that we use and we like. It's not like, hey, come on down and get your carpets cleaned. I got my carpets cleaned this weekend, and you'll love the O2 sensors.
The AM radio guy.
Oh my! You didn't get your so much smoke. So anybody that sponsors this show is going to be people we approached because we wanted to work with them, not people who approached us and said, "Hey, we'll give you X."
You can approach us though.
You can.
If you want
we will get our carpets cleaned and tell you about it. So. But
that's right.
You'll just have to come back to this episode and make me eat my own foot.
Jeremy, we heard what you said about the odorless carpet cleaning service. Oh man,
we think you should give it a try.
Yeah.
But dude, it's just it's that showing up every day. We don't quit, and we just keep coming up with crazy ideas that we should never ever be able to cash those checks, and somehow it always works, man.
Well, you only have one life, right? Yeah. So you might as well take advantage of it. Right?
I patented that. Don't steal that.
You did.
See that on a shirt.
You've never heard that before.
All right.
So
quote Jeremy Trump.
I'm the king of derailment.
So I'm just saying, we always. It's funny how we act. The other day we were here on Friday and. It was a Friday, like it is, every Friday. People can probably relate. You get a little goofy at the end of a Friday at work or wherever.
For the weekend.
I don't understand what that.
Yeah, so we found out that Jeremy had some tequila and
And some Cointreau.
And some
Cointreau?
fixins in his little cupboard there for some
Dude,
margaritas.
I'm ready for a party here.
So we just busted that out and
Had
next
some
thing you know-
margaritas.
He brought the salter and everything, dude. I was like, all right. So
Here we
we've
go.
instituted after that day. It's going to be Festive Fridays here at the Forge.
Yeah, and we got a damn sexy margarita video out of
Yeah,
that.
we did.
I don't,
We did.
you know,
We did. That
If
was
any tequila and other sponsors who want to be a part of our Fun Fridays
for the festivities, the fiestas.
Hit us up.
Yeah, we won't turn that down.
We won't turn that
I'll
down.
spill that all over the carpets here, and then we'll have to get a carpet.
that's why
cleaning
we don't have
sponsor.
carpets here.
Oh, there's
you
that.
can buy a carpet. Suds it up.
How did we get here? Oh my god, man. Nah, but this is really cool, and I could, not to keep tooting our own horns, but it's neat to be doing this around this table with some of
Dude.
your best friends in the world.
This table,
Speaking of this table,
it's special, and it'll be going away.
we have
But-
behind this mural here, who do we have residing in the office space behind us? Doug,
Doug.
with Artfully Rogue.
There he goes.
He's a metal worker who's going to be making a badass
Dude.
forged table.
He's forging a table.
He's literally
Really sweet
forging a table.
content on his Instagram.
Yeah, man.
Check it out.
Artfully Rogue.
Artfully
Yeah,
Rogue.
and this
really
it's
cool
it's
stuff.
funny
Stuff is
because when we first moved into our I guess technically our second space at Huntington University.
Yeah, they had us in a broom closet the first month.
We wanted a Knights of the Forge table, right? And we found this guy on Craigslist, and it was amazing. And then
So Sons of Anarchy inspired. Like, we need a
Right.
badass table. Dude.
Yeah,
I need
yeah.
a gavel
yeah,
next.
dude. And then we upgraded to a amazing killer spin ping pong table. It's like the
true.
Ferrari of ping pong tables.
Yeah.
And that was really cool. And then now this has made a resurgence for this, but it'll be going away for something even better.
I'm going to miss our Craigslist table, dude.
This was the guy that we
I
got
have
this
no
from.
connection
Like
to this.
homemade this thing.
It'll still be there.
It'll be here in spirit.
Can we still eat lunch
when
around
we
it?
burn it?
Okay.
We're gonna have like a burning ceremony where we burn the table, like
Well.
Valhalla. The ashes will just.
Ooh.
Okay, no.
Let's do a Darth Vader reenactment. That'd be cool.
Okay.
All right. Cut to next video.
We can
Cut
use it
to
fuel-
Carson
We can
Lake.
use it to fuel our
Cut
forge.
to dumpster fire.
But yeah, this is gonna be so cool. It's gonna be a custom-made metal, like forged table.
Yeah, man.
I'm really excited.
Little
for that.
rust, little rust motif.
Yeah, man. So we can
real
just get some
industrial.
rabies every time we sit here.
I don't think that's how rabies is transmitted.
We're a bunch of
We're
coffee
gonna cut,
addicts too.
cut
and I-
ourselves on the edges.
And if we had a coffee sponsor, I
morbid.
think we'd all sleep less at night.
A coffee sponsorship, you say?
I do say.
I mean, I'm ready to play. You know what I mean? Ready, player one coffee, whatever. You know who you are. Let's do this.
Shameless.
Shameless plug. We need some coffee in our
Shameless
lives.
Scott.
It's true.
And then we're going to need a bourbon sponsorship to put in the coffee, covert like Mitch over here. That's
I
right.
don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Delicious. But, no, man.
So yeah, this space
Excited.
will be evolving as the show goes on too.
Mm-hmm.
This side of the mural is a little bit more finished up. This side is yet to be a little more finished, so it's a work in progress.
Yeah, Big Chris Wood and Poppy Miranda crushing this mural.
Oh, yeah.
And the story behind the mural, did we share it on this yet? We told how
I
it
don't
came
think
together.
we've talked about it or how we ended up with
so.
the specific characters on the wall.
Yeah, it's in the vlog, but
It's a story.
it's a story.
It's a story.
Tell the story,
A short
Scott.
story. So our boys Chris and Poppy said, "Hey, okay, we're gonna do a cool mural. What do you guys want to do?" We're like, "Let's do cool characters that we dig." And they're like, "Okay, each of you guys throw 15 of your favorite all-time, most influential characters in a hat, and we'll pick them out one by one. As we pick them out, we will throw them up on the wall here.
And it was like characters or vehicles or like
Anything,
weapons
yeah.
from
Who came up with that one?
anything.
Boba Fett's Slave
This
One
one?
ship.
That'd be me.
That's the first one they put up there.
I know.
Yep.
I
Pulled him out of
was
the hat and just started
super
getting to work.
Excited about that one.
Yeah.
Dude,
Front and center.
so
course.
cool though. Like it's just
my bro.
You
Bros
got
right here.
your
It's
guys
cool.
back here.
My bro.
It's super cool.
Yeah.
it's really special to us. So it'll be really really fun to see this completely finished.
And have Big Chris and Poppy on the show here soon.
Absolutely.
Talk about their backgrounds.
Those
'cause
guys
they're-
are amazing.
They're pretty legendary, man. Like Big
Yeah.
Chris, what studios has he been with? You
I
have-
don't-
his rundown's
He's
like
he's done some
It's
really
basically
yeah,
everything.
I mean,
everything.
yeah.
World of Warcraft, Call of Duty,
Well,
Halo.
Yeah, everything.
Yeah, and Poppy's like an airbrush guru on Instagram,
Yeah.
blowing it up and doing some amazing work. So yeah,
Mhm.
that's a whole nother side of art. Where'd you guys get started? You know,
Yeah.
that'll be fun.
That's
Yep.
gonna be a great time.
Looking
Yep.
forward to that one.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, guys, here we are.
Here we are.
Ready to light this table on fire?
Let's do it right now.
Let's go get the axe.
That'd be a really cool first episode.
Axes
would
don't
be a
start
cool
things
first
on fire.
You don't know. Have you ever tried?
With a flint, maybe?
I've got both in my
Well,
truck.
we put flint
An
under
axe
the
and a
table.
flint?
I do.
Should we do it?
Legit. No, we need it. Now it's set up. We need it until we get our new table. We can't burn this one. And we got to get the Darth Vader doll and all that stuff.
This is a behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as Forge goes, it's kind of living under the Forge X banner.
Yeah.
Forge X.
Ooh.
X
Yeah,
gonna
which-
give it to you.
Whoa.
We could talk about Forge X a little
Yeah,
bit
man.
because
Yeah.
that's basically where we
Yeah,
are now.
you know, it's like Cineforge is kind of where we started, and that's like a
We make
motion
movies.
picture
Yeah.
production company. We make movies and other things.
We make badass videos.
We make badass videos.
That's a good slogan.
I
We
like
should
it.
use that in
We
some
should
print
use that in
material.
print material.
Okay.
And we decided,
Spoiler, it is
we wanted,
print material.
we do so many things. You know, it's like we're all huge gamers, and we love movies. We love art,
Indeed.
design. I mean, music. It's like the creative spectrum, and you know, it's cool because movies can take advantage of all that. But we decided, you know, like let's do something else that has more freedom, right? That can engage with community, that can build community, that can host events, that can be teaching material, that can do all kinds of fun stuff. And so we decided Forge X, right? X, it's kind of like a crossroads of everything. You like that?
I do like that. I
Good.
like the convergence, the crossroads motif.
yeah,
that
see?
was
See?
very poetic.
Forging
I like
cross
it.
roads.
Yeah. Well, we went to, I mean, all these gaming conventions
Write
is
that
kind of, I think, where
Yeah.
this the ball started gaining momentum, if you will, because aside from how we met each other in, like, forming our own little community, we met so many killers out at these conventions who opened up opportunities for us. We're like, okay, we need to do something more to reach out to the community further and involve these people and put their stories on Front Street. And now that's what we're doing with Forge X, both on the event side and with Forged underneath it, I think.
Well, and we kind of glossed over it, but the reason why we were going to all these gaming events is because we created a little documentary. called
little documentary?
Game Jam the movie.
We accidentally made a documentary.
Yeah. We were
Just a little
contracted
one.
to make a 15-minute like
Yeah, I remember that year.
mini doc, and us being the complete idiots and geniuses
We're like, we shot way more than
decided
we were
to make it like a hour. It's
It's
you know,
about
feature
50
length-ish,
minutes,
right?
50
doc.
minutes.
And then we ended up going to PAX West. We went to IndieCade.
Went
We
to
went to
E3.
E3. We went all over the place.
Yep.
And the
It's
film
wild.
beyond us attending in person has gone internationally to a bunch of film festivals, which is cool.
Yeah. And it was published by
It's starring Tom
distributed
Cruise.
by Devolver.
starring. No, it is not doing that at all. But I like.
No,
your
but
headset.
even cooler. Like I said,
Stars Ben Riker,
it was
It does
distributed by
stars this guy.
aka
by
Kevin
Devolver
Sorbo.
on Steam, so you can get this on Steam.
Dude, Devolver Digital is the coolest group of people in
Yeah.
the world.
Yeah.
And next E3, I'm so looking forward to their outdoor area with that delicious food truck
Dude,
again.
yes.
Yeah.
And it's really neat to be in bed with those guys and gals. Like,
I don't know. That's see, I was never a part of this.
metaphorical.
I'm not quite sure what's going on.
Metaphorically speaking, no, being in business with those guys
Yeah.
is cool, and
Yeah.
having them distribute our content is an honor.
It's been amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And so
Savages.
that was a great inroad to getting to these events, getting to meet more people.
Yeah, meeting our demographic really of like who we're marketing
Meeting
to.
your tribe, dude. Yeah.
And it was awesome.
My wife has a shirt that says "Love your tribe and hold them close." Like that's beautiful. That's a beautiful
That's
sentiment.
beautiful.
It's beautiful because you go out to E3 and PAX and like, I mean,
Leave it to Scott to get sentimental on the show.
oh, dude, it was neat though because like out at E3 and PAX, it's just a sea of humanity, a sea of gamers.
Right.
And then you go to those areas like the Devolver area, and everyone's so chill and so cool and so welcoming, and just wanting to show off their creations, like the independent game booths. And it's just like a film festival, sort of, without some of the pretense that you get at a film fest, just being
Sure.
straight up.
No, man, yeah.
Everyone's like, yeah, man, come check this out. This is how I made it. This is how, come play this game. Then that, I mean, really makes Max Reload special because we're making a movie for those people.
Yeah, man.
That's our community, and it's cool.
Yeah,
It was
it's
neat.
for us. I mean, we're part of that community.
We're making a movie that we wanted to see first
Yeah.
and foremost,
Yeah.
and that I think that really shines through. A lot of people have
Oh,
said
it's terrifying.
they've heard the idea and
Yeah.
it's like this is amazing. Like this is what we want. That's just what we decided to do because that's
no approvals, dude.
No.
it was something completely independent.
Yep.
Which is, I think what everyone wants to do, but within quote the system, that's a very hard thing to achieve because there's many cooks in those kitchens that have other ideas and flow charts about what's going to be successful. And then this dude over here who wants to write a check loves dogs, so you got to put a fucking dog in the movie.
And again, coming back to the only reason we made Max Road is because of this team sitting at this table.
Yeah.
There's so many, kind of like, there's so many individuals here and around the world, really, that are really talented, but they have a really hard time getting stuff off the ground, especially a feature. And so they wait, and 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 they do smaller things, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if you want to do it, you've got to find the team. And you've got to trust that team.
You got to trust that team, and you got to trust that they're going to be there when you fail.
Because you will.
You will.
Oh, every day.
Absolutely.
Every day.
And if you're, you know, like,
more than you succeed.
Right.
Dude, if your project is only as good as you, it's never going to be good enough. You've got to have the team, and that's scary and that's hard. And it took, you know, you and I think we're both doing this for about 10 years before we even meet each other. Dude, that's a long time, man.
It's been
So I'm
almost
saying,
3 years.
Ronin, bro.
3 years.
We were all Ronin it out.
But I think, you know, we got in that mindset that we needed multiple people around. You know,
It's a
and
force
like,
accelerator, man.
It is.
Exponentially.
Yeah.
You see how much, not just how much more you can do.
Yeah.
In terms of, you know, volume of whatever content, but how much better that content is. How much more, I think, how much more freaking enjoyable waking up and being like, check, you know, I wake up in the morning,
You're
I check
bros,
the
you
feed.
hang out. Like, that's what you do. You hang out and you make
It's
cool
a
stuff.
hive of creativity from you
What do we
guys
do when we
and
go home?
Spurs stuff
We play
on.
Overwatch.
You play Overwatch while you're blowing up the Facebook thread with ridiculous GIFs and ideas for tomorrow. You know, and that's the
we
thing.
do.
It's like,
I
hey,
mean,
did you follow up on this?
Right.
What about this?
We riff on
Right.
stuff all the time.
The cool
all
thing
that.
too is it,
Slaying
like,
noobs.
regardless of everything else, it always comes back to our friendship, right?
Yeah.
And like that, everyone you meet that's older, right, that's done business, entrepreneurship, a lot of them will always say, "Don't get in business, don't have partners, don't do this, blah, blah, blah," all this stuff." And it's like, well, dude, no, that's not how.
That might work for some people.
It might work for some people,
Yeah,
but like
different paths for everyone. But
the reason we're all here is because
how
we're
this
friends.
works.
I'm sure they don't enjoy it as much as we're enjoying this.
Yeah.
I would be willing to bet.
Cut to 5 years later, we're all
Remember that one
Remember that
show?
Stupid
where-
Jeremy.
just sitting in a hotel room, nursing a bottle of Jack, crying, watching this podcast. Nice, Ben. Way to go dark.
It's a show, not a podcast.
Show, sorry.
And a podcast, not a show,
That's
depending on which way you're listening to this.
We're still trying to figure
If
this
you're on the
nut
audio,
out.
it's a podcast. If you're watching us,
Heck yeah, man.
And if you're only listening to this on podcast, you didn't know that Scott's shirtless this entire video.
That's right.
Yes.
True.
That's right.
Oh, well,
That's right.
there we go.
Moist
went there.
cake. The cake is moist.
yeah.
Here we go.
But I think, you know, when we pull that all in too, because so I'm sorry, my brain skipped there, but we love talking about the pop culture and films and games because we love playing them, love watching them, and we love making them. And I think, you know, we kind of have to do that stuff in order to be where we are today. You know, we get insights from all of the stuff that we follow and watch, and that's what I think art is about. I think that's what being creative is about. It's about innovating on what already exists, finding your take on it, and by that I mean your take, you know, and that's where the genuineness of whether it's Show No Mercy or Game Jam the movie or Max Reload, I mean, these are our takes on these kind of movies and things have been done before.
There's 9 ideas out there, and every movie is a variation of those 9 ideas.
Right. So it's just an extension of, if you want to do it, just do it. Don't, you know, you can do market research, you can try to figure it out, you can paralyze yourself by too much data online.
Just be true to what you want.
Analysis paralysis.
Yeah, absolutely. And then to go, you know, on the other side, if you don't think you're there yet, and that very much, you know, that could be, you might not have the skill set or the experience to do that, go find people that have.
Right.
And be helpful, right? Like,
Be helpful, and don't be afraid to fail.
Yeah.
Like, I know that, like, I don't want to be the downer here. I keep coming back to that, but like,
Dude, you
you're
have
gonna
to fail.
and there's so much risk, and I think that's what holds. A
It's
lot
just
of people
how
back.
bad you fail, right? We're all going to
Right.
fail, right? But just fail not as bad.
But by having that team there to help
Sure.
pick you back up and put
Right.
the pieces back together, and
Well, just be
keep
honest
pushing
about it.
forward
Right.
and be
Yeah.
honest about it.
Right.
Be
There,
honest
dude,
about
there are
yourself and
plenty of
mistakes.
times
Yeah.
we
Absolutely.
failed making Max Reload, but
yeah.
it was never a detrimental failure. It was just like, we could do better. We could do better. And,
Oh,
and
yeah.
you
Well,
just,
Well, they're learning moments.
exactly. And you
Right.
call them failures, right? But really, it's not a failure. It's just a moment where
it.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
have done
There you go.
something that you wanted to do better.
Well, you had expectations,
always wanted to
right?
do better.
You had expectations. It turned out a different way.
Right.
It's always a matter of perspective.
Right.
You could say, look, maybe my expectation was wrong, and this
Right.
way it was better. Or you could
Yep.
say, no, my expectation was right, and I just didn't meet up to it, and
Sure.
so now I know what I need to do next time.
It sounds masochistic too, man, but at a
learning
point,
moment.
if you embrace it and you have that mental shift, right, and you see it as a learning moment, like, you almost start to enjoy failing because
process,
then
yeah.
you're like, you're not looking at it as, oh, I've it's ruined, I'm done.
Right.
It's like, okay, that didn't work, on to the next
Yep.
approach.
Yeah, and
Let's
that's
try
where
it
that
this way.
mentality of fail quick comes
Yeah, man,
into, right?
yeah.
That's people who've done
Absolutely.
it so many times that they
Open
know
doors and
just
shut them, man.
get it out of the way. Let's
Right.
just try it. if it doesn't work, big deal.
Yeah.
So the
Right, we've had
so it doesn't
multiple
show on the
technical
screen right now,
failures
like-
on this show just right now in the very first one.
Yeah.
Which
Nah,
is
dude,
fine.
of course we are.
It's fine.
Working
Of
out
course,
the
yeah.
kinks.
Working out the kinks.
That's the fun stuff.
After it, then you
Pull
go,
the veil
hey,
back, man.
it
Show
was
'em.
hot as balls in the studio, and the camera kept shutting off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
indeed.
Next,
Next time we're gonna hyper cool this.
we're gonna
place.
put an ice bag over the camera.
That's it. Sit on one. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
No, but the show will. And on that note, I expect this to keep getting better and better. It's gonna be fun having a really cool spectrum of guests on.
Mm-hmm.
And we already. I don't want to spoil. We can't
Right,
spoil.
can't
any.
spoil it,
We got
but
some
we got
cool
some big
ones on the
names.
list. Yeah, which
Yeah.
is good. And we also want our audience as it grows, whether it's going to start out very small and hopefully it'll grow over time. That's our hope internally. We want to hear what they want to hear too.
Yeah.
Like what do you,
and
what do you
they're
wanna
going to
know?
have an opportunity to be able to ask some cool questions for some
Yeah.
cool people too.
We're working out some of those opportunities, some of those exclusives as
Yeah.
well, to be an exclusive offering for
Yep.
our
And as
people.
far as community stuff that we've done just in the last short months, we ran a 24-hour film festival, which was such a joy. We had
filmmakers were awesome.
Dude,
man.
we had 10
Everyone
teams.
who came out for that.
I
10
think
teams.
about
Dude.
140 people who were
I'm
involved
so
in those,
impressed, man.
within those 10 teams, and they all made short films under 5 minutes.
Every one of those teams made me feel incredibly lazy. Like what they
Killed
did,
it, man. They worked hard.
It was amazing.
They
it was
grind, yeah.
So we
I
did
was
that.
proud. I mean, I thought
Yeah.
I was. They stepped it up. I thought that was super cool.
We held that at Game On Expo.
And out of that too, we also ended up employing one of the filmmakers on a project and
True.
brought them in. They helped cast it. So again, that's that community building. You
Yep.
know? So,
Yep.
yeah.
And on the game side, we held for the Overwatch finals. We held a viewing party at Three Wiseman, which is a bar in Old Town Scottsdale, and that was a huge success.
Shout out to Jem.
Shout out to Jem over there.
Scottsdale
and,
Knights,
And
yeah.
ViewSonic sponsored that event. We had one of their short throw gaming projectors there on like 120-inch
Oh, it was killer.
projector, and
Overwatch
eBlue
everywhere.
sponsored and brought in 4 units PCs. And we had 2v2 tournaments.
Yep.
Gave away a bunch of cool Overwatch pop figures and
yeah.
swag.
It was
the
it was,
Genji
it was just
Blade
a
to the
blast,
winners.
man.
Yeah, man.
That's cool.
It was good community building. It was
Yeah.
fun just getting
Yeah.
out, again, having some drinks at another bar. What is the theme of the show, guys? And playing games. And that was cool.
We're all adults here.
And then we have some other really cool community agendas on
Yeah, we're
on the
working
horizon.
that ideas out
Yeah.
and having some stuff at the studio.
Yeah, and some in studio knowledge sharing, just kind of
Jello wrestling.
learning community.
Well,
Things.
there's
I don't know how Jello would wrestle. Jello doesn't have
Jello
like,
It
doesn't
doesn't.
have
a
limbs.
skeleton
It
or
has
bones.
no thumbs.
It'd be a
It
very
can't-
fluid
How's
experiment.
Jello gonna wrestle?
I'm glad
Yeah.
we're on the same page with this.
Yeah.
Um,
Back on
yeah,
point.
in studio, learning events where that are also going to be fun. We've got a big projector here.
Like a
next
little
to
mini movie
ViewSonic,
theater, man.
Little
Yeah.
movie theater in house, and we're going to be kind of tying some of those things together. Yeah, it's
Bringing
gonna be
some of our friends
cool
in.
opportunities for people to get involved and be part of this community.
Yeah, so it's going to be really exciting to see this grow. That is the hardest thing, is growing something from grassroots.
Like a chia pet.
Like a chia pet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The show is like a chia pet.
Gotta
I
get
like
it.
that. So if
Gotta
you guys
nurture it.
have
Gotta
some
water
Miracle
it
Grower
every day.
water you want to just throw on this old chia pet.
Slather on this chia head. Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to be cool to see. We've got some ideas as far as building out a strategy for social media and this and that, and it'll be really exciting to see what sticks and what doesn't.
Speaking on that note, we actually have an opportunity right now. If you're interested, we have an apprenticeship here in the studio for social media. So if someone wants to come and work with us 2 to 3 hours a day,
And I hear you get to
At the
sit
most.
in a really cool.
You got to go
chair.
fast while you're sitting
You,
down.
you get
That's what
to
it looks
very
like.
Fast.
yes, thank you, Ingram.
Veyron. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like if the dude from Tron, if Flynn had his gaming chair in the Tron universe, that's what that chair looks
would be-
like.
yeah. Yeah.
Hydraulic,
Yeah.
3
Lights
touch
everywhere.
screen. Yeah.
Well, yeah,
It's pretty badass. It's like a Tony Stark
Yeah.
Tron chair.
yeah.
Yeah.
That
so,
is.
so that's one perk. The other perk, of course, is being in the studio here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And being part of our projects. Everything from Max Reload to this show to the events that we're doing and growing the community. I mean, that's what social media needs to do for us, and we realize that. And on that, I'd like to extend, I think on all of our behalf to everybody watching this, please like, share,
All y'alls.
comment,
Like it.
wherever you're watching
But no,
this.
that does help. As most people know, Facebook is very difficult to get anything traction because it just buries everything if it doesn't
Yeah.
think it's doing well.
Yep.
So anytime
awareness.
someone likes or within Facebook likes or comments,
Throttles it.
Thumbs
yeah.
up are
like
great.
then Facebook's
Drop
like,
a
hey, this
comment, though,
content's
yeah.
actually kind of good and
Yeah.
people want to see it
Right.
because hopefully
Yeah.
people do want to see it.
Right.
So that really does help us.
We do want to know what people are most interested in hearing
Absolutely.
about the
Absolutely,
show
yeah.
too.
Yeah.
So those comments, man. That's
Yeah, exactly.
A
So
thumbs
not
up is great, but
not just
comments
sharing
are
what we're
better.
doing to spread it, which we would really like to do. Because again, maybe the next time we do a film fest, it's somebody who found out from somebody who watched our show, who then started following us, and they told their buddy, and
Yep.
that they came and
Yep.
they were able to apply to it, and they get these rewards. Then that we're able to offer
Sure.
because we have awesome sponsors, and that
do.
helps their career. And then next thing you know, maybe we pull them in for another
Right.
gig or whatever.
And
Those
even
are,
for the
yeah,
next
beyond
movie,
that,
yeah.
if you or someone think that, hey, I would love to be on that show, we would love to hear from that.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, like
Yeah.
You have cool friends doing cool things. Let us know.
absolutely.
Who are they? What's their story?
Like there is no ego at this table. All right, we're not. We always one thing I always struggle with is like, well, why us? Why are we on a show? Why should anybody care about us?
'Cause it's fun,
and that's
man.
not because that's just because I always want to make sure that
Yeah.
our ego is in check, right? That we're not here because we think we're the shit.
We literally sat in a room and talked about this
Dude.
for an hour. Like,
We
should
just
we even
have
do
enough
this?
cameras.
Eh.
yeah, and it's
yeah,
like
right.
we're
enough
not
cameras laying around, some
microphones.
mics.
we're not doing this because we think that we are amazing. That's
We want to open
straight
the
up.
door for other people.
We
pull
want to
veil
open the
back
door
and
to tell cool stories with cool people and share experiences and knowledge.
digital campfire, man.
Absolutely,
That's it.
yeah.
That's it. From
And
the
we
dawn
have,
of time.
we have the ability. None of us here we're all behind the scenes filmmakers, right? Like,
For sure.
or game makers or producers or whatever. We're not on camera personalities.
Nope.
But I think,
But we are now.
we are now.
What have we gotten ourselves into?
Yeah.
Can I get an agent?
Yeah. Can I get a sponsorship? But no, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
This is the digital campfire. We want to bring people around it, make it welcoming, and just share some stories, man. That's it. Just super
Right.
chill. Super chill.
Super chill.
Super chill. On that note, what else do we have going on, and where can people check out more content that we haven't talked about yet?
Yeah, I mean, as far as all our social medias are ForgeX Creative.
Right? We're on Twitter, Facebook,
Discord.
Instagram now.
Discord
Yeah,
is
we do have
forgex.io
Oh.
/ sorry.
No,
I'm ruining this
discord.io.
now if you're a code guy.
That's good. Keep
Discord.io / Forge
hyphen X.
And they can find all these descriptions
Nailed it.
in the descriptions, links, and all
Yeah,
that
on the
jazz
YouTube.
below.
We also
Good.
have
Okay.
a web page, so you can
'Cause
go
it's a
to www.forge-x.media if you want to see more of our stuff that we're
Because
doing there.
forge-x.com was taken. So if you know that person who took that,
Tell them to give it to us.
find them,
We'll have them on the show and arm wrestle them for it, Ben.
There we
Jello
go.
wrestle them. for
Jello
it.
wrestle, arm wrestle into Jello.
That'd be
And we're
cool.
back.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got a lot of different channels, a lot of different things going on. All
Yeah,
of which
we'll
will
start
be
up a
in that link
Patreon
below.
soon,
Yeah.
so you can support us, and that
Yeah.
that'll be huge for us too, because it'll offer
That'll be cool. And there'll be some really cool exclusive things. One thing we've always done with sponsorships on the movie, on the show, and whatever, is really trying to make it equitable for the people. So we're never going to expect just, hey, give us money because we're cool. Give us money because we're. It's like I want I want people to get something in return if they do decide to sponsor whatever that is, right?
Yeah.
If that's some exclusive stuff or that's just a.
Yeah.
You know.
So again, if you have ideas,
We're
let
gonna
us
figure
know.
that out.
I
If
mean,
you got ideas that
you
can
know,
help us grow the community.
we have
by
ideas,
giving
but
back
if you have
to
ideas, yeah,
Yep.
definitely let us know.
We like doing giveaways.
Yeah.
It's fun, man. It's
We're
fun
gonna work
to
on
make
some
people
merch,
happy.
not our merch that just promotes our brand necessarily, but just cool stuff. Whether it's funny or relevant gaming or film
Elon Musk had a flamethrower. What do we? We
terms,
should
you
do
know,
like
just
an A bomb.
He had taps before that. So
just
don't
some
worry.
fun, cool merch,
okay.
maybe by
We'll
Big
start with
Chris,
hats.
that kind of stuff. So so we've got some really cool ideas that I think.
Speaking of, after this, Halloween's right around the corner. I got some exclusive Halloween ideas.
Uh-oh.
We're not going to talk about it here, though.
I'm
so
scared.
Tune in next time.
I'm really scared about
It's
that
gonna be
idea.
great. It's gonna be great. Are you really scared? Or is that
Yeah.
like a play on Halloween?
Little of both.
It's Scott and Halloween,
Dude,
That's like
it's my favorite holiday.
scary.
My favorite holiday.
Doesn't surprise me.
All Hallows Eve. Look at you. You guys are sitting in Halloween themed chairs.
Don't worry about it, bro.
Brilliant.
OPC.
OPC.
I have to say, I'm pretty comfortable here. This is a really nice spot.
It's a nice space.
Yeah.
We need
I
to
feel
make
at
sure
home.
that the table is this size or
Yeah, it will be.
Mm-hmm.
It's this lighting
The new
grid.
table.
If you want to see, you can kind of see a little bit of it, but check out the vlog to see how we built it. But this is perfect.
Feat of engineering, dude.
It's great because it only illuminates, it's top lighting, so everything around you kind of falls off, and we can just focus on each other and on the show. We are in a larger studio space, but this is pretty rad.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty great.
It's a good little set.
I'll take it.
I like it.
You can't have it.
I think it's a great setting. I think people are going to be comfortable. I think we're going to be able to have great conversations here.
Definitely.
I really look forward to hearing what Forge people, how they got where they are, and what they're doing next, and why. I think that's always an interesting piece too. Is like, why did you decide to do that now? Because you had to make a decision.
Yeah, man. We saw some of that, like you guys mentioned, the comments on, I think it was Troy Baker's and Steve Downs, Master Chief from Halo.
Yeah.
Like seeing a couple of people comment, "Oh, that's so cool. They're so humble. That's how they got started. I never knew that." Like, that's neat. That's super neat.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll hear more of that, hopefully, across the spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
Totally.
Yeah.
Well,
gentlemen, this feels like the awkward silence part of the show.
that's when you got to cut the feed.
Cut it.
I don't know. Producer
Done.
Ryan gave us a signal. We got a few minutes left.
Nope.
You guys want to do like big rock scissors?
Arm wrestle.
Jello
All right,
wrestle.
we'll do a little. What's excited you lately? Whether it's a video game, movie, or
I know what yours
some
is
music.
gonna be.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you do.
The re-release of Porky's 2 on Blu-ray, right?
Yes, that's good. Blu-ray, dude. Get your discs out of here.
Listen,
We're gonna have a party in the Forge where we watch movies,
Here we
and Jesse and I were like, 13th Warrior is an amazing movie.
And
It's
Antonio
a great- and if you
Banderas.
disagree, you can come Jello wrestle us.
Or just come and watch it with us, and we'll change your mind.
that's 3.
But yeah, so Scott's like, yeah, bro, let's do this.
I'm so excited.
In that voice too.
So excited.
So he comes in like a couple days later. So I found 13th Warrior on eBay from like a thrift shop in North Carolina, and I'm like, have you heard of Amazon Video where you can watch HD?
Have you heard
movies?
of the
Dude, and
internet where you
funniest
can
thing
watch
is,
movies
almost
for
every movie I've ever bought in the last 3 years has been on Vudu or like through a VOD service. But I was so stoked.
man.
I was up late. I had way too much coffee, and I was like, "Oh, I should order this on DVD." I thought it'd be so charming, and I come in and you guys just
But now
roasted
you'll
me.
have
Oh my
you'll have a
gosh,
physical
roasted.
representation of,
Yeah.
of being roasted.
Great,
So.
that's great.
Yeah, we can sign it.
That's what I'm excited for.
It's funny. We actually got to 13th Warrior and the fact that we should watch it because I think I was blasting it in the
You were,
sound studio.
yes.
You were doing that, yeah.
Wow.
You could hear someone getting like slaughtered to like epic. Oh, no, that was the different.
Oh no, it was Game. I was watching.
I was like, what is he
alternating
watching?
between Game of Thrones and 13th Warrior,
Okay.
and just trying to get some inspiration for an interesting scene in Max Reload. I don't want to give anything away, but yeah. So we were. I was listening to that, and then that sparked the conversation about 13th Warrior, and it's a great movie.
It's a great movie.
Never gonna live
is.
that down.
We're gonna watch that.
It's like-
sweet.
It's
Jerry
like
Goldsmith's
hitting the last
Cineforce
score.
theaters.
It's like hitting the last ping
Outstanding.
pong ball into the Puget Sound.
Oh
Just
yeah.
saying,
Speaking
man.
of,
Yeah, that's on tape
Never gonna live
too.
that down.
Check out our vlogs on YouTube channel,
watch
Cineforge
our
Media.
shenanigans.
I just broke those kids' hearts in Seattle, slamming that ping pong ball into the
Poor kids in
abyss.
Seattle.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
fun.
Scott is
That was
sorry.
fun.
So
Pure
Ben's excited
disappointment.
about Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, I spent all weekend last weekend playing that, the new one for
nerd.
PlayStation by Insomniac. It's amazing.
Dork.
Great game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually really good.
It does look really cool. I
It's
remember when
huge.
the first one came out on PlayStation,
Right.
and we thought that was impressive at the time. You
Well,
look back on it now, you're like, all right.
I've always
Yeah.
tried to play. Spider-Man is like one of my favorite comic
Oh, dude,
characters of all
same.
time, right? I
Yeah.
mean, Spider-Man and the universe he lives in, and his character, who he is, and everything. And man, it's portrayed so well in the new game.
Nice.
One of the things I was talking about was, so I was comparing it to God of War, and as you guys know, the new God of War is like
So good.
literally my favorite game. Of
Great
all time.
storytelling.
And those guys collaborate a lot, Insomniac and Santa Monica Studios, about storytelling and mechanics and stuff, and how to put this into the game. So I thought, well, this is going to be similar in the Spider-Man. Well, so it left me a little bit empty kind of feeling at first, because I was thinking this story is not as epic as God of War, right? So how do you get, like, God of War is epic.
Yeah.
He's just
Yeah.
going around killing gods, and now he's fighting the Norse pantheon and so on, right? And so Spider-Man is just a kid who got these abilities, and he's flying around and just trying to help and be a good guy. And then it started to dawn me more, like, the story becomes so unique because every villain that he interacts with, he knows, right?
Right.
Peter Parker knows,
Yeah. It's
Dr.
close to
Octavius.
home, man.
Peter
Yeah.
Parker knows, Oswald. So, like, he knows who these people are.
The lizard, and
yeah, and so even Shocker, when you're chasing him down, it's you're the banter is there, right? And I don't know. I really like that aspect of it, and then of course it's a beautiful
visually
world.
It looks insane.
They did all of New York, and they just
super cool.
It looks gorgeous, and it plays awesome. That's always been my thing about SpiderMan games.
Yeah.
I've always thought initially, even when the first one came out, I was like, cool, you can swing around like a spider, and then it felt clunky, right? Like donk, and you hit a building.
It took forever to get from one point on the map to the other with your stupid webs.
And this one's amazing, and you unlock like further web slinging abilities. You unlock further dodging abilities.
Dude, have they done
you get
Spider-Man
faster as you
VR
go.
yet?
Yeah,
That'd just be like a throw-up simulator.
Yeah, you would
Spider-Man
definitely
VR.
throw up.
in
Yes.
VR.
Yeah. That would be awesome though with the two controllers.
Cool. Dude, oh
I'm
my
sure.
gosh.
I'm sure.
dude.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
There are similar VR games to that where you're like parkouring
That would be
on
sick.
walls and jumping around and stuff.
Nope.
In VR. It's all for Jeremy.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
So yeah, that's what I've been playing. But I'm also excited for the new Busan map.
Ooh,
on
Overwatch.
Overwatch.
Oh, look at these
Came out
guys
today.
lighting up.
What?
Yeah, it's out now. It's live.
That was
All
genuine
right, and that's end of the show.
genuine excitement.
Dude.
That's
So
awesome.
and if you're as excited about it as Jeremy is, join us on the Discord because
Yes.
we
We play-
announce when we play on the Discord, and we do all of our communications headset wise everything through the Discord. So we talk right through there. So just
Discord,
join
can we
us.
get a sponsorship?
Yeah, right. So is that what you're excited about?
Dude, yeah. Now I am.
That's
And
it.
watching
That's
13th
a
Warrior
gorgeous
and
map.
Nerf guns.
And Nerf
I'm just going to say that right now.
You've been on a Nerf gun kick.
I'm on a
for the
Nerf gun
last
kick
week.
right now.
Watching all the mod videos on YouTube. You're going down the rabbit hole, son.
It's crazy all the
cool.
stuff you can do with Nerf guns that you never thought you could do.
Dude,
like, as a
like
kid,
shoot?
Dude,
like,
the new
and then
Nerf Rival
shoot.
Blasters are like
shoot some more.
adult Nerf
yeah.
guns.
Yeah.
They'll leave a welt, dude.
Oh,
They'll
I'm
leave a mark.
excited.
like Nerf has like aged with its clientele
Yeah.
to like
Yeah.
include people who
We
are
should
our
get a
age
Nerf
and
engineer on
wanna
the
take
show.
them apart
Like,
now.
how did you increase the velocity of these Nerf darts over the ages? Because they've gone
That would be
full
cool.
paintball mode with those little yellow balls.
Oh yeah.
Let's get a Nerf engineer in
Absolutely.
here.
Yes.
That's
Nerf.
on the list. Wish list.
If you
Nerf
if
guns
you know
listening.
anybody from Nerf,
Yeah.
Holla at your boys.
Yeah.
Can we get a sponsorship?
Dude, please.
Jesse, what are you excited about?
Nerf herders.
Yes, please.
what am I excited about? Since my entire life is Max Reload right now, I'm excited about Max Reload.
Yeah.
Me too.
No, I'm excited about the like the soundtracks and things that I'm using as reference for that, just as inspiration and to kind of it's a tool to kind of use to get certain cues going, and a lot of that has come from obviously it's been pretty easy because it's all the stuff that we enjoy. So like I referenced 13th Warrior, Game of Thrones, Tron Legacy, like those soundtracks are absolutely important for just listening and just kind of absorbing the palette when I'm trying to get the
top note
vibe.
That's so cool,
of,
man.
Yeah,
of
you
what
just,
Max Reload
you just got me
is.
even more excited about it right now.
I can't wait.
I'm excited to hear it.
Yeah.
Whenever it's
I'm
done.
excited to watch it in our own theater here in 5.1 surround, donated generously by Jared Tramp over there in the wings. But yeah, loud, super loud, like shaking stuff off the walls. That'll be cool.
Yeah, no, I'm super impressed by right now and really excited about like the most recent season of Game of Thrones and the soundtrack for that. It's absolutely incredible. And going through and watching some of those some of the scenes and listening to the score within context and then taking the time to just mute that scene and just play the score along, just the track. There's so much detail in it. It's just there's so much life in it. It's
Love
really,
that.
really,
Like
really
peeling
cool.
the layers of the onion back,
Oh, yeah,
man. That's
it's great.
cool.
It's fun. I'm a huge nerd.
What are you excited about, Scott?
Ooh, well, obviously, this show, Forged. Super excited. We're finally tracking it, which is cool. But dude, Predator, the new Predator reboot.
I'm
huge-
nervously excited about
Yeah.
that.
Ooh, huge Predator
Go either
nerd.
way
Yeah.
for me. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean Shane Black, like talk about stories and like origin stories, going from being an actor, screenwriter in the first installment of Predator
Yeah.
to now directing this one that just looks insane and actually shows like in the ships. And yeah, I'm totally geeking out. I'm reading the Predator Omnibus right now, Alien versus Predator
Okay.
comic book
nice.
series. So
So
I'm
a
going
single
deep.
bus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They're all riding on a
Together.
single bus.
is
Together.
Omni's
Omni is
One.
Just kidding. It's multi-directional.
multi-directional.
Mini
So it's a
buses.
bus that can go anywhere.
Many
bus
Predator
that can go
buses
in.
of aliens.
It's like that kid's bus. What was that in the Magic Bus?
Cat
Magic
bus?
Magic School Bus.
Yeah.
Where they
see, I
like
was
go
thinking-
everywhere.
I was thinking
I
Totoro.
love that
Totally
show.
cat
The
bus.
cat
yeah.
bus for the dead. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Weird.
It's a dark show.
Oh, I'm also really excited about Sling Studio. You know why?
Tell me more. What is this Sling Studio?
And
you
I'm not
say?
even trying to be a soapbox, sponsor pitcher right
Just a
now.
little bit.
But say we had 3 cameras and our audio source, right?
Yeah, dude.
We'd shoot the show, and then we'd have to edit the damn thing.
And go into Premiere and laboriously cut 3
Yeah.
tracks of video.
Can't-
Right now-
isn't there a way you could just do it like when you're?
Producer Ryan is
Awesome.
live editing on an iPad.
Legendary Ryan
wirelessly.
O'Grady.
Like, dude,
Powerful.
it's legit ridiculous.
It's crazy.
An
And so
iPad.
we're gonna be like, cool, we wrap the show, and we will have a completely finished edit.
Cut on the fly,
Dude.
you say?
On an iPad?
What?
Like,
Broadcast where it used to be like a giant machine, and
now it's an
like
iPad
Or a
and some
truck you
wireless
drive
receiver.
up with
Yeah,
a
man.
satellite.
it's a live truck and
Like a
an
giant-
iPad
Dude,
with the
and that
same
legit-
switchboard.
It still is
As a
sometimes.
filmmaker, editor,
Yes.
whatever,
Great.
And as a
that
tech
makes
nerd.
me really excited to not have to do that.
Yeah.
It's like 6 hours saved, bro.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And speaking of saving time and editing, I think we're
More
at that
Overwatch
point in the
time.
show. We're about to wrap it up.
I think so.
Yeah,
And
so-
it's out there live
Yeah.
for those who've been tuning in live, and it'll
Yep.
be existing on all channels going forth. So,
Yeah.
thank you all for who've watched it live and
Thank you. Thank you, OPC again, and Quasar Science.
Yep.
And Sling.
Sling Studios.
Yeah, this is
More
we're-
to come.
We're obviously all very excited, so I don't
That's
know.
the word of the hour.
I hope
Yep.
you guys stay tuned for the next episode.
Yes, next episode we'll have a celebrity special guest.
Celebrity special guest.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. To be announced.
That's gonna be fun.
Indeed.
Thanks for being our celebrity guest today, Mr. Mitchell.
Ooh, the prestige. Signing off.